Welcome to Silverstone. This ground here is rich with history, a former airfield that served in the Second World War and now hosts one of the oldest and most iconic races in motorsport. It's the Formula One British Grand Prix. Silverstone Circuit then is 3.6 miles long, has a total of 18 corners, and of course is no stranger to the rain. There won't be any DRS available in these conditions, but the Wellington and Hangar straights are still good opportunities to tuck into the slipstream and make a pass. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Antonelli, George Russell and Tsunoda, Norris, Hamilton, Hadjar and Lance Stroll, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Alex Albon and Lawson, Hülkenberg, Ocon, Gabriel Bortoleto and Pierre Gasly. Behrman and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. I love being here at Silverstone. I know you do too. Mainly because we get to sleep in our own houses for a week. But what do the drivers enjoy most about this track?
Well, Silverstone's such a challenging circuit, Crofty, more so for the car than the driver, because these high-speed corners at Silverstone really test this modern-day F1 machinery to its maximum. We don't get that many times throughout the calendar. I can only think of Suzuka and Spa, maybe Qatar as well, with that high-energy cornering that you get here at Silverstone. So the drivers love throwing the car around through corners like Copse, Maggots and Beckett's, for example, and it's really influential for your lap time as well.
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Brilliant job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race.
amazing car weekend. Thank you very much, everyone.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
To do it as a team on home soil, that really means something special. And you can see how much it means to them, the drivers involved as well. Great job by them today, of course, as always. But for the fans watching on too, a great display of teamwork here today.
It's what they've all been racing towards, waiting for them. High above the pit lane is our podium. And for the lucky three, it's time to stand on it. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris.